I want to talk about the mudslinging that we're seeing playing out politically, and it's not even the start of campaign proper yet. Labor is continuing to question Peter Dutton's share trades, and this dates back to the global financial crisis. We're talking 2009. Now, Dutton has responded today saying he has no assets held in a private trust and has been forced to come out and defend his wealth. Prue, look, we're in for a nasty campaign, aren't we, when you've got Labor really grappling at straws here, and it's not even the start of campaign proper yet.
Oh, look, is that all they've got? And we know it is, basically, that they are so terrified of Dutton, and rightly so, because their focus groups are telling them that he's cutting through. And you know what I don't quite understand with Labor is surely these boffins who are paid so much money in the Prime Minister's office are not saying, mate, this is dangerous. We've got to come out with more policies, and not just this Medicare thing, where everybody can see through it. It's not even in the budget. It's forward thinking, forward books. And you sort of think Dutton's outplayed them by announcing and matching and in fact exceeding, and they're terrified of him. But the fact that Dutton has been so successful financially makes me feel confident that we're in the hands of someone who is a commercial animal. He made his money in the outside world, not through the bureaucracy, as a public servant, which is what Albanese has done. So we should all be grateful that it's going to be in a safe pair of hands. And how facile and immature and pathetic is Labor if they're going to start this dirt? Because I believe the Australian public's had enough of it.
I think so too. And you're right. I think you make a really good point. This has all got to do with the fact that they're just spending like crazy at the moment. They never expected that Peter Dutton was going to come out and outbid their Medicare announcement, and they have nothing to go on, so clearly they are completely grappling at straws. I think that's such a good point. Now, let's talk about Trump's tariffs. Australia is said to be spared from Trump's reciprocal tariff crackdown, with the president's top economic advisor also offering the Albanese government a glimmer of hope of sorts to avoid duties on steel and aluminium exports to the US. Now, the Treasurer Jim Chalmers hailed his talks in Washington, DC with his American counterparts as productive and constructive, declaring he had no reason to believe the US was no longer a reliable partner for Australia. Look, I'm interested in your take on this, Prue, about how Australia goes about it. I mean, I don't think that Labor is certainly strong enough to navigate these issues, but can Jim Chalmers really be the one to talk constructively with the US on this?
Well, you can just imagine Trump saying to his blokes, oh, look, humour him. He would consider Chalmers, Albanese lightweights, and certainly Rudd too. And so I don't think he's going to play any favours. He would be cognisant that there's an election coming up, and he will want Dutton to win. So I actually believe that Trump will play with the little mouse, the big cat, and not give anything until Dutton gets in, and then the big boys will be sitting at the table negotiating. I'm sure that in the end we will probably be okay. Trump will probably want to negotiate something extra out of us. That's the deal. And frankly, we have to play with the big boys these days and not be these whinging little wimps that we seem to have been, particularly during the Albanese era.